Has he told anyone what he's painting it?
I don't think so.
So it'll be a surprise. So stay tuned.
All right, so we're getting back to work on GG, the grocery getting racer pacer that the boss owns.
Is this another step-by-step video?
No, step-by-step videos are not fun to produce. This is just we gotta hurry up and get done because this car's getting shipped out to LS Fest East in like 3 days, something like that. Anyway, but it's gonna be in the BTR booth, Brian Tooley Racing, gonna be showed off there, and then Jack Stan Jimmy from the Cletus McFarland channel is gonna be ripping this in the burnouts. We're gonna paint it. We also have new leaf springs. We're doing a flat stack from Alcan Springs out of Grand Junction, Colorado. They are the best, they're awesome. We were able to pull our leaves out, get them re-arched flat. We're taking 4.5 inches out of the back because Jack Stan Jimmy told us to do it. So we're listening. We also had Quick Performance send us a new third member. Those guys are awesome. I screwed up the third member back in the New England 900 at the Cletus event. Broke clutches inside. Don't really know what's broke, but I know it's broke. So they whipped me up a new third member with new gears and a spool, and they sent me another axle shaft because I ruined the driver's side. So Hillbilly's gonna be working on that. Cody's working on some body work on the other side. I already body worked this in the last video, so if you didn't see it, go check it out. I worked my little heart out and I taught you guys how to fix a dent. I'm gonna weld up, I already did one teardrop here. So I welded that up and it's super, super warped. So Sean's gonna teach me how to fix it, but we're gonna go TIG weld the other side and try to not ruin it. So we got a lot of stuff going on today.
Since I'm in charge of doing a third member, or replacing the third member, we're going to stick the axle on the scissor stand. Going to try to stick it up there to place. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, baby!
What are you doing?
Just getting this masked up so Robbie can get it primed to, I don't know, what color is he going? Pink or black? We got to match the rear axle, don't we?
Probably black.
So in order to get the third member out, you have to disassemble the whole axle and slide the axle shaft out, or else you're not getting that third member out at all. Okay, so I got the caliper off, the rotor off, and now I'm gonna get this with the plate that holds the caliper. That plate holds the caliper and the axle shaft.
And it has a little lip right there. I don't know if you can see, but that holds the bearings in the shaft itself. So we're breaking these down.
Colton can use the wrench. I'm gonna cheat. Have to grab these so we don't make a mess on the floor. Here, okay, I got all my brackets removed, so now you just gotta lightly tap with a rubber mallet and not hit yourself.
You have to. Where were you at on that one? Lily, did you have to tap yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to tap it out. Now we can take the third member out.
People use his fingernails. I went and got me a little pick. That oil definitely needs some.
Heaven.
Cody's gonna hurry just rattle bomb this. I think it's a Yukon third member that's nodular. I think that's what it's called.
Man, that's some good looking oil.
Why didn't you just pull the drain plug and drain it out of the drain plug? Now you gotta clean that hole too.
All that stuff went in there.
Well, but now you got everything down in there.
We got the third member masked up. We're just gonna hit it with some trim black real quick so it'll match the black one that was on there and look good with the paint and go with the color scheme of the car.
So I'm trying to get this ground down with the least amount of distortion as possible, but it is distorted here. So once I get it all ground down, I'm gonna have Sean help me get it all hammered back out and perfect.
One more coat to go and we'll have it ready to put in the rear end as soon as Hillbilly gets that cleaned out.
Okay, so I'm gonna get the leaf springs and cowl track all put back into place where it's supposed to be, so that way once I get the rear axle done, we can just set it across the leaf springs and then hook up the U-bolts, because you can't put the outer, any of the outers together with the U-bolts on because the U-bolts are right in the way and the leaf spring's right in the way. So I'm gonna get these up in place, finish building the rear axle, then we'll slide it across and put it in place. I have to loosen these up so that way I have enough movement in between the shackles to get this wedged up in. I don't know how they got it out.
I got it out just fine.
With the pry bar?
No, it just rolled out of wiggled out of there because I did that side first.
It wouldn't wiggle in there.
No, I know. I knew I was gonna have to do that, but you beat me to it.
Okay, I'm not going to tighten these. I'm just going to snug them up because you don't want to tighten them up until you have all the weight of the car sitting on them.
What are you doing?
Fixing little dings so we can put more dents in it.
Okay, I got the cowl tracks and leaf springs installed. Got the rear axle all cleaned out. So that means I can start assembling that rear axle. And you got to start with the third member. Now I can get the nuts on there and start tightening it down. Snug these down, make sure it goes down evenly.
Are these supposed to be torqued?
I've never
We'll
torqued them.
read the paper and see.
Is it?
Why? Oh, it's just how it was leaking last time. But
I've never torqued them, so I'll finish getting these snugged down, and then when I do that, Colton's gonna read and see if there's a torque. The only time I torque spec anything is when I'm rebuilding the motor, like the bearing caps for the crank, head bolts. Besides that, I don't torque nothing, torque spec anything. I always go by feel. That's why your wrenches, if you ever notice, you'll never find a 9/16 that's this long like your 15/16, because you're not able to grab it and actually put more torque on it like you can at 15/16 because it's bigger.
But if a kid was running that and you were running that, there's different in strength.
Yeah, I had them a lot tighter than that. That's not even tight. Now, I can install the axle shaft. Did it spin?
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure it's fun. Now, I need the rubber tensile and tap it in where you can get the plate on. And I use a rubber one just so if you hit the studs, which I did a couple times just barely, you're not messing up the threads. Make sure you're putting this on right. And that is not right. It is right if I put it on the housing where it's supposed to be, not where I was trying to. Okay, I want to finish getting these nuts on there and I'll tighten it down and we'll bring you back to the next step.
Okay, we're getting the line taped out so we can match the other side. Just got to finish sanding the glaze here. Then we'll move up to the door, straighten the body lines a little bit. So we just got this roughed in last time so we could hurry and get to Texas. So we got to go through, spend a little bit more time on the door. Robbie filled in the holes for the original cutouts and got a body work, do a little bit of teeny bit of metal work so we can body work those. Go to the driver's side, see if there's anything, might be a little bit. And get this primed tonight, prep it and paint it in the next couple days.
Okay, next step, put the caliper bracket back on. Then it bolts to the bearing cap plate. You have to have these spacers in between the bearing cap and the caliper bracket so that way it clears the T-bolt and the axle end flange. Okay, I got those 4 bolts tight. Now you put the disc on or rotor and then caliper. Okay, I'll hurry and get these tightened up and then I'll hurry and put the other side together. Okay, so Quick Performance also that's a new driver axle shaft. This one looks like it got a little hot. It's still good, so we're gonna use it for a spare. And we're putting a fresh one in because the other side, everything looks fine on it. And so we're not changing that one out, just changing the one that looked like it got a little hot. You gotta figure out what bolt holes it is. So I'm trying to figure out which holes you thread the lug studs into. And by looking at it, you'd think that you just match that one to this one. But I'm glad I picked it up and tried putting the threads in each hole and found out which one lines up because I think this plate fan was drilled a little bit different than the other one. And I wouldn't have noticed that and just threaded them in just like that and then the tire wouldn't have fit. So I want to get these all started and I'll pick up the tire and set it on there just to be safe to make sure it is the right one before I thread them all the way in. Okay, I got the studs in far enough to test fit the tire and rim. Make sure I have it on the right bolt pattern stud. holes. Bada bing, bada boom. Right ones. So I can tighten them on down. And this time I'm going to put Loctite down in here. I didn't do it last time. And every time we take the lug nuts off the other side, they spin a little bit. So I'm just finishing up assembling this rear axle. I want to take this last caliper bolt tightened, then we can slide it in place. So we had another set of U-bolts. I was just going to run to Napa and get one.
What you doing?
But Robbie's like, no, you're not. We have 2 sets. Go find them.
I told him.
Well, I found it in them.
I told him that we had them, and he didn't believe me. I think we already told you, but I just want to reiterate. We took these springs to Alcan Spring in Grand Junction, Colorado, because they built the best spring. They gave us a new flat main leaf, and they re-arched all of it to the correct weight of the rear. So, super sweet. Hillbilly's got all that junk up in there. Get this installed. I have a beautiful face. Don't let this crush it.
Well,
I don't think you're gonna fit.
we ain't gonna fit no more. There we go.
Colton, you and your negativity need to go home.
Boo.
You.
I said
Why?
boo.
You keep being negative. Now let's go your way a lot of it. Uppity up. Hold on. Let me get my jack stand. Go. Lift. Lift. Oh. Yeah. I don't know what your problem is. Ours went right in.
You got it? While I drop this front?
I mean, not really.
Really? Should have left the rotor off.
I don't know why you guys being so negative about it.
Shut up, camera boy! Ready?
Got it? Yep. Gotta go coat it way more.
Back this way.
Oh, hold on. Let me get a better grip.
I knew it. I'm out. What? They put it in the wrong spot. That freaking center pin is too far forward. Knew it. When I saw them have a hole there,
Like this hole here, how they
do it.
on top.
All right, me and Hillbilly are gonna run to Napa and grab some gear oil. And then I remembered, so we're lowering the pacer because Jack San Jimmy was explaining to Robbie that he wanted rear end of the car to be sitting a little lower. Then he advised us to get some weights so we could weld to the underneath the car in the rear end. So we're gonna run, me and Hillbilly are gonna run to Walmart too, see if we can find some dumbbells that have the removable weights. We're gonna cut it in half so we can have 2 and then be able to put however much weight we want on there. So that's what we're up to.
So, Walmart, they did have weights, and they had the right weights, but they didn't have enough weights. So, Colton called Steve. Steve's on his way to Vegas to pick up some tools that Robbie bought. And so Colton called Steve and said, stop at like a Dick's Sporting Goods or Big 5 and get some weights. I think we need 4 45-pound weights. Got the gear oil, so let's head back and get everything installed and tightened up and bolted up and put together and fluid filled up so we can be done. Okay, I'm just working on getting this caliper put back on because I had to take the caliper and rotor off to get the axle to slide over on this side. Didn't think about that until it was too late. Got this almost finished up. All I got left is putting the shock on, the cal track bar on, and then bolt the tire on, and then filling it up.
Okay, so right here that Quick Performance sends us, right here, it says 4 quarts of 80/90 weight non-synthetic. So we went and got it. I added 4 quarts in there. So I'm gonna put the plug back in. Hillbilly just finished up, tighten up everything. This thing's ready to roll.
pull these jack stands out.
Now I gotta hurry and tighten up the shackles, and this rear axle will be done.
Okay, I'm laying up front in front of the car. I gotta pull the front bumper. So I just have 4 bolts, a bolt here. I got 3 of them on this side taken off. I'm gonna do the other 3 on that side, and I'll loosen that other one, and then I will get some help where we can take this off, drop it down, and then I gotta jack it up and get the front wheels off so they can finish doing metal work. All right, so I got the front bumper off, got the car sitting on some jack stands in the front. Now I'm gonna rip these tires off so they can do their magic. Okay, last tire. Get that off. Let's throw the lug nuts back on there. Let Robbie know this thing's ready to go.
All right, we've got the body work done. Robbie got this quarter done. I got the other quarter done. We had to go through, fine tune the body lines on the doors. Found a couple little dings we got fixed. So for tonight, we're just gonna get the doors back, spot primed where we need. We'll hit the fenders and stuff in the morning where they filled in the holes, the teardrops they'd cut, but decided to move the exhaust. So just got to 320 it real quick, Scotch Brite the edges, blow it off, mask it up, and get some primer on her. And we're using an interface pad, going over the soft primer where we've already blocked it and got it straight. This is so we ain't gonna dig in and leave little half moons from the D8. You ain't always gonna keep this flat. You'll dig into the corner. So that's why we got the interface pad to go over here to help keep it smooth while we're getting this prepped out for the spot prime. Okay, me and Colton just hurried and buzzed over this with some 320, got it ready for prime, blown off. Now we're going to get it masked up, put some epoxy over the bare metal as our first step, and then get it primed so we can go home tonight and be back early in the morning. Okay, just hitting up a couple little spots I noticed I missed, but me and Colton just got this masked up. Gonna get it pre-cleaned and start spraying some epoxy. All right, got the gun loaded with epoxy. Gonna get the bare metal covered. I'd give it a couple coats. Then we'll hit the regular primer on it. Let it sit a day, then prep it, I think is what his plan is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out. Got our first coat of epoxy, let it kick 15, do another. Then after we do the second coat of epoxy, you gotta let it set 30 minutes before you can top coat it with the regular primer. All right, we're done with the epoxy primers. Coats on it. Now we're gonna hit it with the regular surfacer, the ECP 35. It's our go-to primer around here. We'll get coats going on it. We'll do 4 coats, 5 minutes between coats. It's a little faster instead of waiting all that time on the epoxy. So we'll get to spraying. All right, we're looking pretty good. Our lines look good on all mine and Robbie's body work. Got 3 coats on now. We'll hit coat number 4. Getting late. We're at 8:38. We'll get this sprayed on here and be out of here by 9 o'clock tonight. Not bad for Friday.
Nope.
There's the final of the 4 coats. Throw some guide coat on it before we go and come in and prep her out in the morning. The next morning, coming here, Sean got the metal work done from Robbie's repair. And I'm putting a coat of fiberglass on both fenders and on the back where I had a little rough spot. So we'll get that knocked down, finish the body work, go over the fenders, get them primed. And it'll be late night because we got to have this prepped and ready to paint tonight, so Robbie can come in tomorrow morning and throw the paint on it. Has he told anyone what he's painting it?
I don't think so.
So it'll be a surprise. So stay tuned. All right, getting back on the sanding on the fender. Sean did some pretty good metal work on them. Getting the fiberglass knocked down. Probably just a smooth coat of filler on this one. Still got the other ones to hit. Pretty soon we're gonna have to make Colton put down the camera and learn how to sand this stuff. Yeah.
Oh, hey.
How's the training?
Good.
How's sanding fiberglass?
It's definitely a lot tougher than the regular.
Especially longer it sits, the more it's like concrete.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, it is the next day, and we are getting the rest of the bodywork done on the fenders. Jorge's here blocking, Cody's over there blocking. Got a little bit of metal work we need to do here, and then we're gonna mud this up and get it all smoothed out. So we are painting this car tomorrow. So we got to get all the bodywork done today. The door, the quarter panel door, they're all ready to prep out. The roof, we found some dents, so it's gonna get primed. Fenders are gonna get primed. They'll get prepped out in the morning, but we are making some real good progress here. Well, I went to tape this out, and what do you know? Found a crack in the edge. So we got a little crack in the metal. I just want to weld it up, weld it and grind it so that we don't have it come back through. All right, back to taping everything out. I'm gonna lay out tape where I don't want filler, which is in my jam. All right, I'm gonna sit and overwork this for a minute, and then we'll let it cure out and sand it.
Okay, on the passenger fender, got it smoothed up really good. We're gonna put some glaze on it. Filling a couple craters down here that happen to appear out of nowhere. When I do my glaze, I like to do it where I can like cram it down into the scratches. Then I'll come back through and spread an even coat over it. I just do it for a mechanical bond. It's something I was taught. How long have I been doing this? Since 97, when I first started doing body work.
I'm gonna rough this down real quick before we go to lunch. All right, got this totally roughed down, and this is dang good. We're gonna run a lunch, we'll come back, we'll glaze this, sand the glaze, it'll be ready to be primered. Oh, I'm gonna glaze that. That feels a little wavy. That's where the tire smacked it. Anyway, we've got a few little things. It'll be good. All right, we are back from lunch. I got all my glaze done, sanded. I'm gonna 320 it, get it ready for primer. We've got the rest of the body all prepped out. This car is like 25 hours away from being painted. Oh yeah, didn't even ruin it. Not even for a second. All right, it's ready for Cody to take over and get this thing primed.
Well, we're back for a selfie Saturday night. Colton and Robbie went home. They put in a long day, and they've got a real long day tomorrow with what they've got to do on the paint on Gigi. So this will be one of the last very times you see her under primer. Got to get her out of the booth so we can finish prepping the primer we did earlier. Baked her, let her set a few hours. We're back here. Well, I'm back here. My help should be showing up any minute. We're at 7:52, 3. So we'll get her pulled out, pulled apart, and prepped out, back in the booth. So me and the three amigos, they've already taken off. We got this all prepped, masked, ready to go for Robbie and Colton in the morning. We've got a 12:17. Not too bad. They'll be here probably in the next 7 hours. So they got a full day of painting. So you'll be seeing those guys in just a little bit and seeing Gigi in her full glory.
All right, it is the next day, and my team absolutely crushed it. That's why we're a team. They got everything in the booth. It's all ready. We're going to catch a couple of edges that I just noticed. Colton took some bolts out, and we're going to paint this pacer. I was really dramatic. We're going to get the pacer painted. Right meow. I mean, well, it's going to take about 10 hours, but we're here on Sunday, the day before Labor Day, doing laborious things, all for you, because we like you. I like you. Colton may not, but I do.
I like you guys.
All right, so this is pre-blow tack and static and wax and grease. We've gone around, we made sure we got every single edge perfect. We're gonna blow all the dust and dirt and grime away. And then we're gonna fix the masking. See, like that just blew out? As soon as I hit that with a paint gun, it's gonna blow over spray inside that fender. So I'm gonna go and blow off everything. We'll come back through. We'll fix all the masking that's messed up. See that? This is why we blow it. We gotta fix it. The time hath came. It's time to wax and grease this bad boy. Once we get it wax and grease, we'll blow tack and static it off. Etch it, seal it, base it, light it. We're gonna have to have Mother Nature help us paint it with some pink lightning. Anyway, you're on a tripod right now. Colton's over on the other door. I'm on this door. Let's get this sucker clean. All right, the time hath come. We are going to blow tack and static this, etch it, seal it, and strike this with some lightning. And I can't even wait. Jack Sam's gonna be so pumped. Emery's gonna be even more excited. Now I'm gonna be all sad that I'm missing LX Fest. But it's fine. We're gonna have somebody there that's awesome, taking good care of OTG. All right, we're just about done. Just gotta get the inside of this door, and we'll go static control the entire car, and we'll get our next put down. It's a very, very critical part to every paint job. You've gotta anti-static it, or you're gonna have a dirty, dirty paint job. I'm not gonna super bore you guys with the etching process, but what I'm gonna do, I'll put one coat down, wait 3 to 5 minutes, put a second coat down, then we'll wait 10 minutes. So this is gonna be about a 15-minute process. We'll get all our sealer mixed up, we'll bring you guys back in for sealer. All right, 2 cans of etch later, we've got everything 2-coated. Gonna let it sit. While it's sitting, I'm gonna mix up my sealer. We'll get in here, we'll seal it, and then we're really gonna see this come together. All right, we're getting it mixed and mixed. I'll probably have to mix up more. I'm getting 28 ounces, and we'll do the body first. That way, if I need more, I can just do the parts. What I'll do is I'm gonna go in, and because it's ready to go, we're not gonna do anything. We're gonna go right into sealing it. But I'm gonna do the whole roof by itself, and then I'll start coming down the quarter panels and do the fenders. That way, I don't have any split seam on the roof. No dry spots, no nothing. All right, we're all suited up, and we are ready to get this thing sealered. All right, I almost made it around the entire body. I'll go mix up more, finish this little portion of the fender, and get all the parts done. All right, we got it all sealed up. Just got to sit for 20 minutes. We'll be back in with black base. All right, for future reference, I'm using GM paint code 8555 black for my base coat on the Pacer. And I'm using a factory pack 2002 Speeds Hecker to shoot it. So I'm just making a diary vlog right here, and you guys now know. Anyway, this is 2-to-1 mixture. So we'll put our base coat in, and we'll reduce it. 3054 standard temp reducer. And I'm pretty sure we'll use probably 2 cups or more for the whole thing, if we're putting 2 coats of black down. So we'll get this shaken, not stirred. We'll go in, we'll blow tack and static, and we'll get some base down. All right, it's that time. Time to blow tack and static everything. Check this out. Got my brand new face shield on. I decided this would be a good opportunity to put my new $2,000 respirator on that I've had for a year. Haven't dared to use it, but the Pacer, good enough reason to use it. Got it all blow tack and static. Let's get this thing based out black. All right, so I went ahead and went and grabbed my brand new SataJet 5500 HVLP. I'm gonna get this thing painted with my brand new gun and my brand new hood. All right, so we got the first coat of black down. It's looking pretty good. Did have a couple issues. I'm gonna show you. It started to wrinkle right here and a little bit here. Other than that, it's not very bad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back in, put my second coat of base down. We're gonna let it sit for an hour. I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna nib all my wrinkles. We're gonna dust some color and get them to go away. It's gonna add about an extra hour worth of work, but it's okay. Sometimes that happens, but it's what we do when we're painters. We fix stuff. So anyway, looks pretty good. I'm gonna let this sit for a minute. I'll put my second coat and then we'll bring you guys back in a couple hours. I don't want to point out my flaws. So right here, we wrinkle. A little bit right here and a lot of it right there. So what's happened is my base coat reactivated the sealer and the sealer wrinkled from the primer. So I'm gonna actually sand all this out. I did a test panel on the quarter panel. I already fixed the wrinkle there. Got a little bit more on the other side and a little bit on the taillight panel. I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. And a little bit right here too. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take 800 grit wet paper, wet it up, wet this with wax and grease, and actually just sand it out. I don't wanna go work the whole panel, so I'll just do this one right here, and then I'll move to the front, and then we'll base it out, and I'll show you how we do that here in just a minute. All right, so what I've done now is blow tack and static it. I put a little light coat back over everything. I'm just gonna very slowly build this back out. But I'm not doing like crazy amounts. I don't want to pack a ton of solvent on it and have it wrinkle again. We'll let that sit, and then we'll come back and we'll put a third after that flashes, and this fender will be done. So this side is all fixed. We have a little spot on the back and a little spot on the other fender, and it's time to hang some doors, put some lightning bolts on this thing. So that last part that you guys didn't get to witness did not take 6 hours to do, but it really did. So we're back. We have it all ready for lightning. We're ready for the lightning strikes. Yeah. So I don't know if I mentioned or not, but in that 6 hours, we got the doors hung, and the doors hung, and we hung the doors. And they were absolutely miserable. All right, here comes the most critical part and what I've been absolutely nervous about the entire day. All right, the rough layout is done. It looks really weird, but it's gonna look good. I'm gonna go flash it for 8 minutes. All right, so I consulted my good friend Paul Stoll on how to mix this candy properly, and we're gonna mix 40%. So I've got my scale at 0, whatever my weight is, we're gonna put 40% pink candy in it. So I gotta mix my color blender 1-to-1. We're gonna go 12 and 24. So we'll go 12 ounces of this, 12 ounces of that, and then we'll figure out the weight and we'll put candy in it. We're 615 grams. So we're 61 times 4, 240 grams pink. You're not make room. This is gonna be so pink and potent. 2 minutes and we're gonna see the first round of pink. This is the most potent pink I've ever mixed in my whole entire life. I think it's gonna look good. So, in case you guys haven't caught on, this is gonna be pink lightning. First coats are done. We're gonna let this sit for 8 minutes. We'll come back in with another layer of white. Figure out where they go. All right, it's not the greatest, but now we put more pink on it, and we put more white on it. We put more pink, and then we detail it with a airbrush. All right, we're gonna let this sit for 8 minutes. I'm gonna put one more coat of pink. We're gonna do one more coat of white, one more coat of pink, and then we'll do the final detail with an airbrush. This is so nerve-wracking. Makes me nervous. My hand hurts, so I'm taking a break. We got one side done. All right, so as you can tell, I've got my daughter here now. Got my whole family here. Last night, I got painter's overwhelmation. If you don't know what that is, you've never painted before. So I was here for 16 hours straight, and I had to leave. I got this side all airbrushed, and I just had to go home, sleep, come back this morning, and get this finished. So I've got this other side all finished up. I'm gonna put some pink on it. We're gonna fine line, detail everything, and we are clearing this pacer. What do you think, Adley?
Good. I like that.
Look at that. She's got a kneeling pad as a bed, she's got a roll of paper towels as a pillow, and she is ready to rock and roll. So I'm gonna get this all detailed out. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done, but I think you're gonna like it. Oh, there's a little mad boy. Are you mad?
No.
Weird. But I think it looks pretty good. It's the first super detailed lighting I've ever done. And I think it turned out great. So I'm gonna let this sit for about an hour, let it gas off. We're gonna run and grab some food, and then I'll be back to put 3 coats of clear, and you guys will be on a tripod watching. All right, now that I have all the fine detail done, it is time for that gloss off. So it's just me today. It is actually Labor Day. So I let everybody take the day off. Colton was here till midnight last night, helping me get this done, but it is time to really pull this job together and get it clear coated. So we're gonna be doing 3 coats of VC 5700. They're gonna be tripoded for the first coat, and then I'll show you once we get it done. All right, I went ahead and got everything blow tack and static off. I'm gonna start it back at that rear gate. Then I've gotta open my doors, clear inside the door jambs, shut them, and clear the outside of the body. It's gonna be a huge process, so stay tuned. All right, so my battery died on me, so you guys didn't get to see the final clear, but we have 3 coats of clear. It's been 3 hours since you guys saw me. This looks so good. It literally looks like it's been shocked by lightning, and that's the point, except for it's pink. I don't know if there's pink lightning or not, but anyway, it looks super awesome. Gigi, the Grocery Get and Racer Pacer, is now painted. You guys, it's the first project we've ever finished start to finish. Ever. It's finished. We finished a project on the channel. Yay! The haters are gonna hate. Say I didn't finish. So it is 5 o'clock on Labor Day. That means I put 6.5 hours today, 20 hours yesterday. We're 26.5 hours into this paint for Gigi, the Racer Pacer. But we did it for you guys, and we did it for a mystery driver. You guys are gonna have to stick around for the next video to see who's gonna drive this at LS Fest East. So next video, my guys Steve and Austin are gonna be putting Gigi in the trailer and shipping it out to Bowling Green, Kentucky for LS Fest East. So come back to the next video and see who's gonna drive this in the burnout pits. So as always, we appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.